Hey guys, what's going on? You may have noticed, but I got a different setup for this review, so you might be wondering what's going on. I decided, well, this is something I wanted to have tried for a while, and that's the idea of doing these like solo reviews. Kind of the idea behind doing this is to be able to get more reviews out to you guys and more videos out per week, potentially. Like sometimes there might be more movies dropping in a week, and this is our way to basically see all those movies that we can, like we're not going to be able to see everything per week, but this is a way to get kind of more videos out, more reviews done, because it does take a while to set up sort of a full kind of round table discussion between the three of us. So I wanted to try out this review and just kind of see how it went. And yeah, so let me know in the discussion below. But this is going to be my solo and individual review for Rambo Last Blood. Just got out of the cinema. I just got out of the cinema, sorry, and to see it. And yeah, I'm going to let you know what I thought of it. So stay tuned for that, guys. So I just saw Rambo Last Blood. I actually had no intention of seeing this film, to be honest. I actually had like next to no expectations at all when going into it either. Like I saw the trailers and it honestly did not do anything for me. Like, it looked like a super generic action film. Obviously it's not doing great critically, right? And half this film, like, part of me enjoys this film, but the other part of me doesn't. And, like, when I look at it, the reason because, like, there's half the film is actually really enjoyable, which is the last half. But the first half of the film feels like it's just really generic action, and like it's very conventional storytelling, and those elements just didn't quite, like, it just took a long time for the movie to kind of find its footing and kind of get into it. And for a lot of it, I honestly felt like I was just like watching another film starring Sylvester Stallone, except he has the name Rambo attached to it. And that kind of, it took me a while to sort of get around that, because like when I look at it, at Rambo as a franchise, it's really hard to kind of see a really strong continuity between each films. Because, like, the first film in itself is a really kind of grounded look at the effects that war has on its soldiers, basically. And the subsequent, like, especially Rambo 2 and 3, kind of disregarded that entirely in favor for just being, a fun action spectacle. And it just kind of puts Rambo into situations where he goes up against an army of bad guys. But then Rambo 4 kind of brings it back kind of to a more grounded, realistic approach, albeit with some kind of more, trying to think of the word, kind of more bombastic action, I suppose. Like, there is some over-the-top stuff going on. I mean, he literally mows down a guy with a heavy machine gun, and he just incinerates him into complete bits and pieces. But then, like, Rainbow 5 continues that a more grounded approach to the story, but it just feels so conventional, and it doesn't, and a lot of the time it doesn't even feel like a Rambo film, whereas 2 and 3 still felt like a Rambo film. And it's just like that part of me just is constantly fighting whether I like the film or not for that reason. Like, as a conventional action film, yes, there are so many things about it that's very generic, but it's still kind of done well enough for me to, like, say, okay, I enjoyed it, whereas some action films within, like, the opening, like, within the first 5-10 minutes, it's either poorly shot, or, the writing is so off-putting, but that's not even the case here for me. Like, the writing is nothing great at all, but it's serviceable, I suppose, and at least serviceable. I can endure watching it. The part of this film that really is going to grab people's attention is definitely the last 20 minutes. What people expect from a Rambo film now is the action, and I think they do deliver that, but it depends on your kind of point of view of deliver in terms of its action, because its action is very, like, it's again rated R, like the fourth Rambo film, and it is super over the top. It's super just bloody and gory, and it's, you could almost go to the extent where it could be for some sickening almost. And whereas previous Rambo films have used its action and its blood and violence as a way to show the violence of war, I feel like this film uses violence more for entertainment purposes only, and I think that's a detriment to the film. And I think, like, for me, part of me sees it in that way, but another part of me also enjoys it for the entertainment purposes. And as when you see that, have that like Rambo music playing in the background and pair it with the action set pieces, you do kind of get swept up in it in a sense. And I find myself enjoying the film oddly in a way. And I think in that sense the film works, but then I have to then look back at the rest of the film, which is again very conventional, very like just stock standard characters, and I look at the film and I'm like, it just feels very tonally odd to me in a sense, because you've got the film trying to be its own sort of thing, but then it's also trying to be a Rambo movie, and it just, because again, like when I look at it, it doesn't feel like a Rambo movie. It's until like the end where I got glimpses when it came to that action, I was like, okay, yes, this is a Rambo movie. This is kind of what we expect from a Rambo movie. One thing that I think is really strong here as well, actually, is Sylvester Stallone's performance. I think considering the man is 73 years old, he still gives his all in this film. Like, he's still great in the role as Rambo, but I just don't think this film really doesn't feel necessary. That's one thing I kind of came to. Like, I mean, none of the Rambo films ever felt necessarily necessary, because I mean, the first one was really good in how it explored the effects of soldiers in war, but then after that film, 2 and 3, as I said before, just kind of just used Rambo as a American hero kind of thing, and the films just became very kind of dull and uninteresting at that point. And I think 4 managed to kind of bring it back a little bit and end the series in a fairly satisfying way, whereas I think with Rambo Last Blood, it picks up the story again but doesn't do enough interesting to really end the story well. And I think that they don't do anything with the Rambo character that I saw as being necessary to pick up the story again and continue it at all. If I was to make a recommendation for this film, I honestly wouldn't necessarily recommend seeing it, but I also think that there's enough enjoyment to be had with the film. As I said, for Sylvester Stallone's performance, for the, great, like, for a really good 20-minute third act that has like really fun and entertaining violence, I think that can be really entertaining for some people. But I think the story that's told and is very conventional, just as by the numbers, albeit there are a few moments here and there that I found kind of a little bit like it does more than I expected the movie to do. But yeah, otherwise I don't know if I can otherwise recommend it to you. So yeah, honestly, I'm curious what you guys think of this film, because it's something that it actually divided me more than I even thought it would. I thought, as I said, I was going to hate it, but I didn't actually hate it. I didn't walk out of the film disliking this film, but I wouldn't say it's a good film. I wouldn't say it's an inherently bad movie. It's kind of just sits in a weird middle place for me. And I don't even think that the critic reviews which have it sitting at like a 30%, or even, I think that's a bit harsh, but again, personal opinion, that's what I believe. But yeah, I'd be really curious if you guys do go to see the film, what you think, and if you like it, if you hate it, yeah, just let us know, because I am very interested. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you like and subscribe if you want to. That's entirely up to you. But yeah, I'll see you next time.